static was playing, but then the music stopped.
Yeah, it stopped.
This is a production of the Must-See TV Broadcast Network. Like, share, join. And follow us for all the latest updates. Like what you see, then throw those stars and show your support. And don't be shy, subscribe to the caveman. He won't bite. And if you're watching us right now on YouTube, then you already know what to do. Smash that like and subscribe button. Even one view can prevent one puppy from being shaven. A big fist pump goes to Donna, AI, and Music Mint for the incredible music that is in this episode. All rights belong to Christopher Michael Egerhos, a.k.a. the Caveman. So if he's ready, and if you're ready, then let's kick this show off. Growl, growl.
Lights up on the screen, it's time to see. 5 days a week, we're where you wanna be. Exclusive shows and reels, we got the vibe. Tune into the network, hop on Facebook Live. Riding with the stars in our unique groove. Laughter twists and turns within every move. Must-see TV's the place to catch it all. Epic moments, big and small, give us a call. Oh, you know it's must-see TV, come alive. Every day we light the way on Facebook Live. Catch the magic, hear the roar, feel the beat. Must-see TV, the place where worlds meet. Jump right in, the fun's about to start. Bringing shows and stories straight to your heart. With every post and every share, we're free. Gotta get that fix of must-see TV. Round and round, don't let this moment fade. Together on this ride, the best we've ever made. Get the popcorn ready, it's your time to shine. Must-see TV will keep you feeling fine. Oh, you know it's must-see TV, come alive. Every day we light the way on Facebook Live. Catch the magic, hear the roar, feel the beat. Must-see TV, the place where worlds meet. Oh, you know it's must-see TV, come alive. Every day we light the way on Facebook Live. Catch the magic, hear the roar, feel the beat. Must-see TV, the place where worlds meet. Footsteps pounding on ancient stone, through the worlds where seeds are sown, twisting myths in the ether's gale. Legends whispered, their voices frail. Planes they call through the endless night, walking shadows, bleeding light. A clash of stars where gods once bled, echoes rise of the words unsaid.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Planes Walking the Multiverse, back for more war. All the war. That's right. And we have Alan Keys in the studio once again. How's it going, my friend?
Yeah, good.
We you know, I don't dare do this show without my my big buddy, because he's bigger than me. He is the Lord of Purple, the Lord of the Purple region, the King of Purpledom, Mike Hatcher, a.k.a. the Magic Historian. How's it going, buddy?
Going pretty good, my man. How you doing?
Good. So today we're talking about the, what are we talking about again?
We're talking about the Necrons today.
Oh,
Do
the
you know anything
Necrons,
about
that's right.
them? Do you know anything at all about them?
Absolutely not. I know they appeared in MTG, but that's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, then there you go. That's gonna make this easy. I can just make everything up.
Yeah.
That's what I should start doing. Instead of telling you the Warhammer lore, I should just start making shit up. And then people will come and listen to them and be like, what the hell is this garbage?
Yeah.
So, here's how it goes, man. The story of the Necrons, you may already know them as crazy metal warriors, but it actually goes way back. They started as humans, and it starts actually with these crazy star gods as well, called the Satan, because they're kind of tied into all of this. But you know what? Let me not get ahead of myself. Let's start with the Necrons as they were at the very dawn of their existence. So they were just humans like you and me, but the difference is they lived on an incredibly harsh planet. So massively short life expectancy. Right?
Yes.
There's all these crazy storms that rip across their planet. Radiation just ends people's lives. And so, interestingly, one of the things that makes the Necron... I'm just going to call them the Necrons from now on, even though they're called the Necron tier at this point. You know, they become the Necrons later on in the story. But for ease of telling the story, I'm just going to call them the Necrons.
Right,
so
okay, appreciate it.
The interesting thing about the Necron society is because everybody has a short life expectancy. This isn't one of those scenarios we've seen on other worlds where you have a ruling class that's guaranteed to live longer and everyone else has brutal conditions. You know, the same way that Mortarion was brought up on that plague planet.
Right.
Well, in this situation, it doesn't matter. Are you a lord? Are you a peasant? Your life is going to be brutally short. So as a result, more effort was put into making their buildings and other things like that long-lasting. Basically, buildings were considered more permanent than people, and people were considered a transitory, temporary resident.
Just hypothetically, what's the life expectancy of one of these Tyranids?
You would be lucky. Like really old people are probably in their 30s, bro.
Jesus, dude.
People you would expect to be the equivalent of 70s and 80s. Probably in their 30s.
Wow.
They didn't give a 100% exact age, but that's the vibe that it gives.
Right.
So it seems like you basically, as long as you're young and hardy, you can somewhat resist the radiation and try and avoid the storms and stuff. But once you start to age a bit, then you're probably hosed. So 30 years was probably about the top of it. And so what happened was, over time, obviously, they want to escape their fate. Who wants to have this happen to their people? So they start to develop technology, and they get to the point where they actually created super, super high-tech level gear where they were able to depart the planet that they were actually from. And so they could travel through space in these essentially stasis crypts. And these stasis crypts were covered in something called necrodermis, right? It's essentially like a living kind of metal.
Right.
And they ensconce their spaceships in it, and that way they can survive the incredibly long journey through space as the Necrons try to get somewhere that's going to be more habitable, right?
Right.
So they make this technology, they start to spread out across the galaxy, and they're massively successful. They take over a ton of different planets. But in their travels, they met the old ones. Now, the Necrons are about 60 million years old at this point. Like our current point in Warhammer history, not way back. So they persisted for over 60 million years. But the old ones are old even by their reckoning, right? So the old ones are like super long-lived, and they had the secrets of near immortality. They had explored the galaxy, had better technology. So instead of using these stasis barges, the old ones actually had warp gates and built the webway out. So they have these amazing instantaneous traveling, and on top of that, incredible longevity. And so the Necrons, yeah, bro. And the Necrons, obviously, coming from this stunted existence, they want this immortality very much. But the old ones, for whatever reason, refuse to share the secrets of longevity with the Necrons. So what happened was the Necrons spread out to a certain point, but then their society basically started to devolve with infighting, and to the point where it might end up wiping out all of the Necrons. So the dude who led the Necrons basically said, we need to be welded together with the common enemy. And so he turned all of the Necrons against the old ones under the whole, well, look at them. They get to be immortal. Look at the way they travel. They won't share their secrets with us. They are our enemies. Right. And this led to the war in heaven. So you have a war between the human Necrons.
Epic. That sounds epic,
sure is.
Dude.
Yeah, it really is. It's like Warhammer lore is dope. There's so much cool stuff going on.
I agree.
So it worked. Like the getting into a war with the old ones worked, but the problem was this was an unwinnable war. Like the old ones were superior in terms of technology and longevity. How do you win that fight, right? So they needed help. Like the old ones basically like beat the Necrons down so hard that the Necrons just kind of got sidelined, right? Right. And so as a result of losing those fights and not being able to take down the old ones, that infighting came back, right? Right. So it was at that point, sometime in that time frame, that the Necrons discovered the Satan. Now, the Satan would irrevocably change basically the entire galaxy, but specifically, they had a massive impact on the Necrons. So the Satan are star gods. That's what the Necrons know them as. They existed at the beginning of everything. So when the galaxy, when everything sprung into existence, the Satan showed up at the same time. They're kind of like celestial parasites. They consume massive amounts of solar energy, and they're so big and insane that they can't really comprehend the material world. Like, they float by planets, and the planets mean nothing to them because it's just some lump or whatever. I'm looking for massive quantities of solar energy to feed on. Right. So that's what they're about. So somehow the Necrons became aware of the Satan's existence. Now, there's no documentation saying exactly how that happened, but what is known is to help the star gods comprehend material existence, the Necrons forged bodies of living metal that they then basically entreated the Satan to inhabit. And once the star gods actually inhabited these new bodies, they realized that they could feel the different energies that were coming off of the Necrons. Now, the solar energy would feed them. It was nutritious, essentially, but lacked flavor. The Necron energy coming off of them had a particular flavor to it that the Satan really enjoyed. So what the Satan did was they lied to the Necrons and said, yeah, actually, you know what? We hate the old ones as well, and they beat us down. So maybe if we all combine our powers together, we could finally take the old ones down. Right. The Satan, that wasn't their goal, right? That was an attempt to manipulate the Necrons, but it worked. A prophecy was born, and then a renaissance of glory for the Necrons, but at a heavy cost. What happens is the Necrons start to worship the Satan because they literally do have godlike powers. So the Satan would feed upon the energy, but like the Necrons never really got to go where they wanted. They had enough power to fight the old ones, but they were still very, very weak and fragile and would die quickly, right? So the Satan played on that and offered immortality, a replacing of their diseased, horrifying bodies with living metal, unending life to be spent dominating the galaxy, right?
Right. Yeah.
So the leader of the Necrons at that time was known as the Silent King, and he would actually become the final ruler of the Necrons because of this. The Satan basically explained to the Silent King the process that would turn his people immortal. So he led them through this biotransference, and it worked. He sent his people in, and they all came out disease-free, hardy, unstoppable. But they also came out without their souls.
Yeah.
The Satan pulled every single Necron soul out of their body during the process, and in this massive orgy of feasting, they ate all of the Necron souls during this process. I know, right?
Jesus, yeah. That's intense.
What happens? It's super intense, bro. So what happens is when your soul's taken out this way, this hollowness abides within you. So what happens is when the Silent King, he was the last one to go through the process. And as it settled on him, he could literally feel his soul being removed and it being consumed by the Satan. And he realized what a terrible mistake he had made. Because on top of the process, it actually stripped the will from anybody who didn't have a massively strong personality. So almost the entire civilization lost their will and basically who they were, and just became almost mindless robots. They lost themselves.
Jesus.
And on top of that, the Satan had taken that Necron energy into them, and after consuming all of those Necron souls, it amplified their power to an insane degree. So the Satan then enslaved the Necrons and then started to use them to decimate the old ones. And they literally did bring war to the old ones and started slaughtering them. The old ones had to flee into the webways. Entire solar systems were swallowed up in black holes. Suns were obliterated. Even the webway itself, which was supposed to be a secret location that was safe, wasn't safe. One of the Satans actually managed to force his troops in there. And as a result, the Satan and the Necrons conquered the entire galaxy.
Jesus, intense.
The other intelligent species of the galaxy became cattle for the star gods. So the Necrons were just sent out basically enslaving everybody and then just feeding them to their gods, it's absolutely mind-blowing. The story of the Necrons is actually, it's pretty massive. So I realized that we were going to need to break it up into different chunks because there's no way that we would cover all the different troops. And the Necrons actually end up rising up against the Satan gods and trap them, and that's some epic stuff too. But there's a lot more to go over. So I figured that we would probably want to break this down into 2 episodes.
Or we could break it down to 3 episodes. I mean, that's...
you know what? We might need to.
Yeah.
You know what we can do next? We can do this this was the Satan taking the Necrons, turning them into tools, pulling their souls out, taking out the old ones, all that. We can do the reversal where the Satans will be captured by the Necrons. The devices they use to do that are absolutely insane, and sometimes the star gods can break free. There's this interesting tension between them. It's pretty fantastic.
Oh my god, that sounds heavy and fucking intense, and I am so in, dude. I am so in.
Perfect.
So we want to know what you thought of this episode down below in the comment section. And Ellen Keys, this is your first time hearing Warhammer lore, and how do you like it so far?
Is this on Netflix? Is this,
no, it's gonna be. You know what? We're just funny enough. We're doing this because of the Amazon Prime thing, but I don't know where that is now because Henry Cavill has got booted. He doesn't want to do it anymore. Apparently, Amazon Prime wanted to do something with it because it's one of the origins of Grimdark, one of the progenitors of that. So
Warhammer 40K is grim dark as hell.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Amazon had this property, and Henry Cavill was already to make it like an entire universe, like movies and shows and stuff like that. But Amazon noticed it was a little too dark, like way too dark. Like think of Madoka Magica, but let's times it by 100. And apparently Amazon wanted to do something, and Henry Cavill said no. And so I don't know where that is now. Mike, do you know where that is? Have you heard anything?
No, honestly, bro, it seems like you know more than I do. I heard that Cavill was attached and they were making like a $40K movie or something.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that it had fallen apart, but it doesn't surprise me. Most projects do. So as far as I know, the only way you can get this like Necron lore stuff is by reading the novels. You can read the different like codexes that have a bunch of information in it, and you can also obviously check out things like people's summaries as well. But there's no cool shows or movies based on
That's
this.
wild.
There absolutely could be, though. You know what I mean? Like the Necron, like you could take almost any faction from Warhammer and do that, but the Necrons it's so epic, bro. Gods enslaving you, then you enslaving the gods. It's epic.
There was a movie, though. There was a Warhammer movie, wasn't there?
No.
What video game?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I mean, it's wild.
You thinking of the Warcraft, maybe?
Yeah,
the war. See, I'm not bad. I'm not good with names, Mark. I just.
Mike.
Mikael.
He was making a joke. That's what he said. He's not good with name, and then messed up my name.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about correcting it. I understood what he was doing.
Come on, man of caves. I'm not good with names.
You rhymed, you son of a bitch. Oh, I see what you did there.
This just means you don't have to pay him, bro, because he won't even know who to come for.
Oh, yeah.
Like Gary or Jeff or somebody owes me some money.
That's true.
People get paid? Wait, what?
Oh, shit, did I just cotton him onto your scam?
Yeah.
Way to go, Misha.
All right, guys. Well, that will do it. And before we go, we have to do caveman growls, and let's see if Facebook is working with us today.
Well, this just in. Facebook is not working
with us today. All right.
Yeah.
So, guys, that will do it for us. Until we see each other again on Thursday, take care. Take care. Be safe. Be well. And we love you all. 50,000 plus. And may the Schwartz be with you. My friend, take me home.
Through the blaze